historically designated street guys as mob guys as either, and this is documented that you're the very few that were both, but usually you're a hitter or an earner. It seems like the Perners put it work, but they also did huge gambling rings. Perners in general, as far as you know, were they hitters, earners, or were they that rare hybrid of both, as far as you know?
I think overall, as families, the Setters and the Perners, they're both.
Okay.
And again, that's why you're going to hear me talk a little bit more respect with them.
Yeah.
Because I think they're gentlemen. They don't run around like big mouths. And the fathers, I think, raised the family the right way. I mean, I liked Michael and I liked Marty when I used to see him as a younger guy. Yeah. They were sharp guys. They were gentlemen. They came. So I think they were, true gangsters as far as when I talk about throwback gangsters. And I think that they were a little of both the family, not out there hitting everybody, but they're aggressive and they're intelligent and money makers. So they had a well-rounded ability as a family to run the way they did for a while. And Tumac was at the time when they were all together until they broke up. Tumac was more of a maniac. He was a mad dog. His son, I met his son a handful of times, or not even a handful, a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the son as a kid, but I knew him after they defected. I ran into him in Jersey. Believe it, he was in Jersey, local too. So he's not a guy that that maybe he hit at one time, but when I seen him, he definitely wasn't hiding. And, times change and people realize it's a different era. So, I don't know what kind of work the kid did. I heard he was a strong kid when he was growing up. But the father was, a wild guy, a mad dog. But listen, the way Tumac took off and hid and the way they had to hit on him, you could be as wild as you want to be. But in that era, you're not lasting long. And he understood that. That's why he took off. And I guess that's why he made the decision to cooperate, because he wasn't going to stay alive too long with gas pipe and Vicar Musso looking to kill you.
So and again, because you got access to different eras, so very few access to different eras, and I don't want to over glorify it, but I will say there was a time that Elizabeth, New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, Paterson, New Jersey, obviously Howard Beach to this day, where you grew up in Queens, Bensonhurst. If you were local, Italian kid, even like an Albanian guy like you who was connected. If you knew somebody and there was some like local, and I don't get like overglorify like The Godfather in the beginning, but if you had a problem with something in the neighborhood and you were connected, and you kind of ask for a favor, and we'll talk about what would be exchanged in a second. But like it used to be a community thing with the mob, right? It was almost like no drugs on the street. I remember you told me, and Gene Borello, great interview. Would shake down drug dealers and be like, get off, basically it was almost like the spiders eating the flies, to be honest. And it had a local presence to it that if you were connected, you felt safe and you were safe. When did it stop being that? When did it strictly become about money?
I think at the end of the 90s, it was really over. And again, because they water it down, you got complete jerk-offs that are made guys now. I mean, clowns. They're not earners. They're not tough guys. They don't understand the street. They're not street. That's why I'm always talking about legitimate street guys. Listen, Elizabeth, New Jersey, anybody that's been around, it was on a smaller stage, but it was the mob. It really was. Yeah. I was in jail with Jackie, so the Donocio, me and Jackie get time together. So I like Jackie. I got to tell you the truth, because there's so many mob guys I can't stand. And there's so many guys I think are complete frauds and punks. And they never did a fucking piece of work, or they didn't know how to earn money. But the North Jersey guys I met, like Jackie DeNorth, I like these guys. And, people say, well, I thought you talk against them all. Listen, I'm talking to kids not to hit the street. I'm not telling these adults what to do for a living. But do I dislike a lot of guys? Yes, these guys I happen to always like. I did time with a lot of them. I know them personal. I did a little business with some of them. And I happen to like the way they carried themselves and their swag. So when people say to me, well, you're always cutting down the mob, I'm cutting down the jerk-offs in the other 5 families in New York, because 9/10 of them are useless. So this is the right reason why what you're saying from the old days in Elizabeth and Newark and Trenton, you had a different feel of the mob and the respect for it. As the years went on, you got one clown after another. They think that 7 guys jump one guy. They're gangsters. I mean, you know, they have no clue about the life. They don't understand it.
Well, sorry, I had to push back on me. So here's the thing, though. So let's go with, and then I want to expand because we're kind of New Jersey housewives and Hollywood. We'll get to Hollywood in a second, and then I actually do want to talk politics with you real quick. But the first thing is the old John Alite, right? And we're friends. We're friends, and I have a reasonable beef, right? Just something that didn't go the right way that I'm not going to go to the police for. I come to you as a friend, and I say, "Hey, John, I have this problem." Now, kind of because I'm trying to get a feel for the Tom Manzo and the maid guy thing, permit thing. Are you more like, "Hey, listen, you know what? Yeah, I'm from the neighborhood. I'm like almost the sheriff that used to call you. Would you do something for me at a friendship? Would I owe you a favor later that like I have to do it? Would you ask me for money? Like I want to get the feel for the transactional nature of, hey, I'm going to help you out, but what am I getting myself into?"
Nah, you know, I had ability